Hey guys, welcome back to Real Housewives Recaps. Today I am so excited to be talking Real Housewives of Miami, Season 2, Episode 4. She beat me to the tweet. I can even hear it in Adriana's voice when she says, she beat me to the tweet. I love this episode. I can't wait to break down all the drama, so let's get into it. Hey guys, I just want to take a second and say if you're enjoying this show, please check out my Patreon. Go to patreon.com, search Real Housewives Recaps, or check the comments below and I'll put a link. And for $1 a week, you can support my show and get 4 bonus episodes per month. I'm covering Scary Island, like the greatest season of Real Housewives of New York. So check it out. Thanks so much. Okay, so the episode starts out with Joanna and Roman, and things are not going good between them. They've alluded to having problems. Remember, the last episode, they got into a huge fight at his Mint nightclub. It had to do with Marta and the DJ. Truthfully, it had to do with Joanna drinking and saying crappy things and ruining his night. So he tells her to cut down on the drinking. He says he's very mad and disappointed that she ruined his night and that he's fed up with this. We find out she's been sleeping in Marta's room, and he says it's not the first time something like this has happened. She says she needs to control herself. He says he doesn't want any more problems. And then he says if it wasn't for Marta, this drama wouldn't be happening. And I don't think Marta should be in their house. They clearly have issues to work out. I think it just doesn't help things. Roman and Marta have a rocky relationship, so it's kind of strange that she's still there. And I don't know. Going over to Adriana, she is meeting with a photographer. He has chosen her to be his subject for an art fair. And he picked her to be his muse, and she says she's never been the subject matter of an art piece before. So Frederick arrives to support her, and she's going to take these pictures. They look like they're beautiful pictures. I just think she's one of the most stunning housewives. She's absolutely gorgeous. Doing these photos, the photographer asks her to take off her top. Well, she's not sure about it. She talks to Frederick. She's just not sure if it's what she wants to do. And she's just like, finally, all right, let's do it. So she gets in the pool. She takes these pictures. Again, absolutely stunning. I love these pictures. I think she looks fantastic. Moving on to Karent. So you guys have been so awesome in the comments, and I thank you for that. I'm so glad I'm not the only one that cannot stand Karent. I cannot. She's so much. She's sitting with her mom. Her mom says, I never talk about Rodolfo. She says she hated him when they broke up. So apparently we find out that Karent and Rodolfo split for 6 months. And Karent says it took a while to trust him 100%. So she never really said what it was. It just had to be a trust issue. So I think he's a scumbag. We know this. She wants to get married and have kids. She said due to his workload, he's always in different countries. How convenient. Okay, spoiler alert. We know what happens after this. They break up I can't remember if it's after this season or after the series, because finally, she's had enough of his philandering. I think he's disgusting and cheesy, and he really grosses me out. And I don't like Karent, but I wouldn't wish that on anybody. That's terrible. We go over to Lenny and Lisa, and I remember this being a pivotal storyline. Honestly, it's hard to watch. She's struggled for a long time with fertility, it sounds like. They've been trying for 3 years. She's had several miscarriages. It's even hard for her to talk about because she gets choked up. What bugs me a little bit is Lenny. Again, I get a creepy vibe from him too. It just comes of slimy. He's not very compassionate, I'll say. She's gone through this, and she's telling him, I don't feel like you're sensitive about this. And he's kind of smiley through it. I'm going to chalk it up to an uncomfortable smile, but nonetheless, not the right time to be doing that. She's going to go see a doctor. They're going to keep trying for a baby. So back to Adriana. She's at this art show. She gets to go see her picture. She sees it in the corner. She's very pleased by the final product. She looks fantastic. She's saying she wishes it was bigger, but we find out it already sold. I thought for sure Frederick had bought it, but it already sold. So Lea and Karent arrive to see the picture of Adriana and to show support. Lea makes jokes about the airbrushing they had to do. Karent says she wants to be in the exhibit and starts talking about having her photograph made. Karent seems to love the camera. This seems to be something that comes up again and again. She loves to be in front of the lens. Lea to camera says, I thought this was Adriana's project, not commission your own art project. Lea says she came for the main event to see Adriana, and then she takes off. So Karent tells Adriana that Lea always throws these backhanded jabs. I call them nice nasties. Now, you guys, don't hate me. I do like Lea. I do. I think she adds a lot to the show. She's eccentric. She's rich. All the things I look for in a housewife. But I'm with Karent. I hate saying that sentence, but I am. Lea does throw these nice nasties. And she thinks it's okay because she goes, ha 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 ha, afterwards. But I could see where it would be jarring. I'll just say that. And I'm all for joking. But it comes up again with Marisol, too, where she throws out these jabs and then she laughs them off and doesn't understand why other people don't laugh. And they're not always funny. Okay, so Adriana spots this work that she loves, and it's done by this reclusive artist, and apparently he's like, I think she said he's like the father of movement, basically. He does all these interesting pieces, and he's kind of started this movement, and she asks if she can take a picture with the artist, and then she asks if she can put it on Twitter. And she says he's reclusive, he doesn't usually allow this, but because she's followed his work forever, and anyway, he'll make an exception. Well, Karent then asks for a picture. Adriana says she's trivializing it because Karent had never heard of this artist and had no idea about the art. So I see both sides on this. Well, who cares? I mean, you see somebody taking pictures, they're famous, and yeah, you probably would ask for a picture. Now, in Adriana's defense, I also get what she's saying. This was a huge moment. She was clearly shaken by meeting this man, making a big deal out of it. And Karent was just like, me too, me too. So, and where Karent bugs me, I tend to side with Adriana. But I don't think taking a picture with him was that big a deal. What really bugged Adriana is that, well, we'll get to it, what Karent did afterwards. But Frederick's saying you have no idea what this means to Adriana. Moments before, so then Adriana says, moments before she mentioned that she'd like to tweet this picture to her art fans. Little did I know she beat me to the tweet. So we'll get into that. Joanna, so she's part of this. It's called a Gay and Lesbian Task Force. They throw this winter party. It's a big event in Miami. And they asked Joanna to perform for the party. So she did Dancing with the Stars a few years before. And she keeps saying, it's been 2 years. But they're training her this dance. And she brought Marta along for whatever reason. I think she's just trying to make Marta happen on the show. Joanna's dancing, but while she's dancing, Marta's giggling, saying, you're flashing your butt. And they start bickering. And this guy gets really frustrated, and it's not going well. Stop bringing Marta places. So over at Adriana's house, she keeps talking about this. She has this Salvador Dali, and it's very prized possession for her. And Frederick is helping her take it down. Basically, she's loaning this piece to, she calls it an amazing effort. I didn't find out what it was yet, but it's some sort of charity event. She's loaning it so people can come see it. And it just means so much to her. She's freaking out, saying if anything happens, Frederick is responsible. So we go to the event, and it's Alexia and Herman are there. Leah's there. That Elaine Lancaster, we see her not in her drag outfit, and then he goes by James. Herman didn't know who he was. He hadn't met him outside of the drag outfit. Anna arrives, and they all look at Adriana's Dali. So this is an art event. Adriana says that she didn't want to invite Karent. Lisa arrives, and she and Lenny are walking around, and we find out he's a huge Dali fan, so he appreciates this. Lisa, meanwhile, is walking around saying, I could draw this. And he says, no, you couldn't. So James, Lea, Anna, Alexia, and Adriana, that's a lot of names, sit down. Alexia says, I'm worried about Marisol. Lea says that, yeah, she heard that Marisol was sick. Well, James says it's because she's out drunk. Alexia says, why are you always picking on Marisol? And he says it's because she picks on him. Alexia says she's not here, so I will leave. Anna says, you can't do this to Lea. Just sit back and let him do your dirty work. Lea says, I don't have anything to do with it. Okay, I don't think that's exactly true. I think Lea has very big connections, and she has these friends who, you know, like he thinks he's standing up for her, but he's saying these crappy things about Marisol. I do think she knows exactly what she's doing, because she kind of encourages Adriana to do the same thing. Alexia says she feels bad and she needs to go. James says, every time I try to talk to Marisol, she says, I don't want to talk about it. Lea de Camera says, Elaine feels like Marisol keeps him from getting work and talks bad about him. I find it hard to believe. I don't know. I just don't know about the situation. There's still this thing back and forth where James, Elaine feels like that Marisol kept her off the red carpet, and Marisol denies that and says, no, it's basically not what the client wanted at the time, but Elaine did end up walking the red carpet, so it's this whole thing. Lea de Camera says she shouldn't need a messenger because Anna is trying to stand up for Marisol, but I wrote in my notes, hello, isn't that what James is doing? I just don't understand why it's different. Anna's standing up for Marisol, and James is standing up for Lea. This whole fight is silly. Lea says she only tried to help Marisol's business. Anna says it's not right that they're talking so bad about Marisol behind her back. And Lea says, I didn't hire Marisol back because she blew it. Terrible. Adriana tells Anna and Lisa about Karent and the whole beating her to the tweet thing. Karent always needs a photo. Anna says she's too much. Lisa says, well, maybe she's trying to be nice. Lisa then says she doesn't feel comfortable because Karent is a friend. Adriana keeps saying, she beat me to the tweet. I can't effing believe it. So then we see Marisol meeting Anna for lunch. Marisol just came from the office. P.S. This is such a weird thing, but I just think it's such bad manners. I hate when people wear sunglasses inside. I just think it's rude. So take off your sunglasses, Marisol. I like Marisol, but that bugged me. So anyway, Anna fills her in on the night before and explains to Marisol that she was defending her from James and Lea and saying, I don't know what Leah's problem is. She believed that she had James saying this stuff about Marisol. Marisol is surprised to hear that they were talking about her. Marisol then says she had a bond with Lea that's now been broken. Anna says she can't allow Lea to talk so badly about Marisol. Marisol says she doesn't want to give it legs. I don't want to hear about it. You know, you're coming from a good place. You're being a good friend. I just don't want to hear about it. So then we see Lisa, Karent, and Joanna at dinner, and they talk about Anna and her cooking. Anna showed Joanna how to make mushroom risotto. Lisa says she felt uncomfortable at the art show, and it was gossipy. She relays the whole beat me to the tweet thing to Karent. Karent said she had no idea that Adriana was even upset. She says she realized that the artist must be someone very famous, and that's why she took a picture too. I get that, but I also think Karent is thirsty, so I'm not a fan of Karent. It's just her over the top, I don't know, just trying too hard. I think it just reads desperate. And so I'm really turned off by her. It's just too much. Karent then quotes the famous Countess Luann and says, money doesn't buy you class. And Lisa says, yeah, but it can buy you an ass. So I'm kind of going to breeze through this part because, I don't know, when people's kids come on and they don't have anything to do with the storyline, it's hard for me to care. Anna's daughters are there, and it's Beba and Katie, I believe is how you say it. But so she's going to that Pride event and tells the girls that Karent will be there. They ask if Rodolfo's coming. She tells them about her and Rodolfo. Now remember, he was texting Anna, and they were Facebooking, and he's gross. Anyway, the stylist comes over. This is where we find out that Anna has a lock on her closet because she said otherwise the girls steal all her clothes. So there's actually a deadbolt on the closet door. And I mean, I remember it. I was like, what? At the time, I think we've seen this a couple times in Housewives history. Since then, I think it's kind of silly. Moving on. So then we go over to Joanna, and Joanna just seems like there's just always some drama going on with her. So she's getting her makeup done. She was woken up at 4 a.m. saying that Roman was making out with a girl at the club. We find out supposedly it was an employee that was telling her that. She says the last 2 months have been really hard. Marta tells her to talk to him, don't stay in a relationship if it's true. Well, he gets home and says, why are you guys so quiet? It feels like somebody died in here. What's wrong? Well, she ends up telling him, okay, so-and-so called at 4 a.m. and saying that he was making out with one of his dancers. And he says, really? No, it's just too much. He laughs and says, this is so stupid. I think he's getting that she's just manufacturing this drama, and he's just not into it at all. She says, that's how we met. My boyfriend was there. Ooh, interesting. I need to hear more details of that. He says he was alone. She says getting the voicemail after the Mint incident is not helping things. So they kind of laugh it off and kiss, but then she ends the scene saying she doesn't know if she believes him 100%. So things are going really good between these two. Okay, so then we go over to this winter party festival. Anna explains that it's gay Christmas. It's a happy occasion for the gay community. We see Lea and Adriana, Anna, Lisa, and Marisol are there. So Lea says, I know why Karent is a dentist. She can put her hands in your mouth and you can't say anything back. That actually cracked me up. Marisol says Lea loves the drama, loves to talk about people, and she says it doesn't excite her. It kind of excites me. I think it's funny. So Lisa says, Marta called me this morning and has something to tell us. I just thought this was a bit excessive. I don't dislike Marta. I just don't understand her role in this show. They're trying to give her a bigger role, and so she feels the need to tell the girls about the Roman kissing another girl thing. I just didn't think that was necessary. And then Karent has to make it about Karent and says, people want to stir up drama because they can't stand the happy couple. Look at my situation. People are inventing that we're a make-believe couple. So Karent's trying to make it about her situation when it's clearly not. And people think you're a make-believe couple because you read as a make-believe couple. It's just a different situation. All right, so Joanna is carried out. She does her dance. She looks fantastic. She does a great job. She does her choreography that she's practicing. We see Roman watching and smiling. The ladies are all cheering her on and super excited. She says that she's happy that Roman was there, and she's still having doubts. So up until now, she said she'd never doubted him for a second, but so many things have been weird with them lately that she's having doubts. She says if he did it again, there's no forgiveness. I don't know what that means. It doesn't sound like he did anything. Maybe there was trust issues in the past. I just didn't quite follow what she meant there. We do see a flash to next time. It's more Marta versus Roman. Again, these are side characters, so it's hard for me to care about their squabbles. We see Mama Elsa dancing. I want to go dancing with Mama Elsa. She just looks like so much fun. We see Karent being Karent. That's just what my note says. Just over the top, obnoxious. I think she's getting on everybody's nerves, including mine. And then we see Adriana calling Karent a wannabe. And I kind of love that. I can't imagine why she would say that. Oh, goodness. Anyway, so that is it for the episode, you guys. Such a fun episode. I'm loving this season. I think they did a great job with casting. Everybody's interesting and brought stuff to the table. I maybe could do without Karent, but I get the purpose for her to kind of cause drama with the other ladies. But anyway, so that's it for the episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you stay safe and healthy, and keep checking back to my channel because I have lots of stuff coming out. And thank you guys so much for watching. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.